Welcome back again, guys, from Tampa Bay. Today I'm reviewing the 2015 Yamaha V-Star 1300 Deluxe. This is their big granddaddy cruiser. Their closest competition to the big old Harley touring machine, however, not nearly as big, not nearly as powerful, not nearly as deluxe, but not nearly as expensive. Alright, totally different route than I've been going with other guys today. So, first impressions, big, clunky, typical cruiser. I have absolutely no air hitting me and I am already roasting behind this windscreen and cowling. Holy monkey. I want to put my visor up, but I'm not going to because that will affect the audio for you guys. Seating position, very much sit up and beg. And you cannot lean this sucker over. Scraping pegs like crazy. Does not want to turn. Ugh. Bouncy and jarry suspension. Not at all on par with other bikes. I've been going over that bump all day. And that one kicked me out of the seat. I really do not care for bikes that scrape the floorboards or pegs like that. Let me tell you what. Transmission is solid. It's got your typical cruiser clunk. This is just a big old V-twin. Nothing special about it. We'll check out the power as we get out on the road here. Rider's triangle is quite comfortable. Swept back, almost beach bars. They're angled down a bit. It's very comfy. I've got a slight bend in the elbow. Big comfy seat. It's actually wrapping around me pretty well. All right, I'm not going to turn super sharp this time. Good power. It's not forcing me back into the seat, but easy roll on, nice and smooth. It's got the V-twin shake and rumble. Go up into top gear here. Where is the speedo? Okay, the speedo's down there. I gotta look to see it. It's got your old 70s type car speedometer layout where it's kind of square and the needle goes and kind of matches up with the denominations. Can't say I'm a fan of that whatsoever. There is no tack that I can see. Also not something I'm a fan of. You know, just because you have a big cruiser touring bike doesn't mean you don't want to tack, people. I don't understand on a $20,000+ bike why they don't add the simple stuff like that. Even a little digital sweep would be appreciated. But again, this is for the customer that wants the typical cruiser experience. Now we do have a really nice little color, I'm assuming touchscreen. Yep, it's a Zumo navigation system built right into the dash. Now Zumo, if you don't know, is a well-established navigation company, brand, unit, whatever, that's been an add-on staple for touring for many years. And they have very good interfaces and are very well received in the motorcycle community, so I'm happy to see Yamaha using them. It's not exactly an OEM looking integration there into the dash, but you can't complain with the results. Zumos are excellent units. It's very clear, it's easy to use in the sun. The icons are all built for motorcycle gloves, so nobody's going to have a problem using the Zumo software. Mirrors are pretty darn good. Surprisingly, crystal clear. I don't have shake in the handlebars at all. I can feel the V-twin in the frame. I can feel it in my butt. That's about it. Need to adjust this one a little bit, but I can see very well. Just a little tiny bit of my arm. I would say about 80% of the mirror is road. So excellent design there. We do have two large chrome-rimmed speakers up tucked way into the fairing. I have absolutely no idea why they bothered putting chrome rings around them though, because you can only see half of it. It is covered by the upper part of the fairing, by the bars, and by all the control cables. You got 6 control cables in the way, so it looks like a hot mess back there. Only because I can see the chrome bezels. If those were black Everything would blend right in, and it would be a heck of a lot better. Your key is buried way, way down into here. Again, not something I would do. You got to reach with your fingers. You can't fit your whole, at least I can't, I got big hands, fit your whole hand in there to reach the key. Now I'm assuming there are different size windscreens you could put on here. Obviously a lot of aftermarkets. I would definitely be putting on something else. Preferably something with a little vent. This has no cowl vent, and I need some air. I mean, I'm dying right now. Last time I checked on a bike, it was 91 degrees, so not terribly hot, but I am sweating in my helmet like crazy. Now, over here we have a cruise control unit, and much like the Victory bikes, this looks like crap. This looks like a Chinese add-on part from AutoZone. It does not fit the gauges. It does not fit the rest of the switch gear, I should say. It just looks like an afterthought by Yamaha. And it probably was, as in, oh crap, the other guys are adding cruise control, we got to do it too. So I'm not sure if this is a electronic throttle bike and this is controlling it via computer, or if it's actuating a cable control. I kind of want to say it's going to be the latter. I just can't see Yamaha putting a electronic throttle or a ride-by-wire system on this bike, since it's so old school design. Seat feels pretty good. It is actually a lot like the Honda F6B seat as far as the shape and the overall feel. It feels like a big gel pad. However, this one has a lot more cush under my tailbone, and I don't feel any pressure point. It's got a good width. It's supporting my upper thighs just a little bit, but not so much that they're digging in at all. Floorboards are quite comfortable. I'm used to them now because they're in the exact same position that my custom bobber floorboards are. I still don't prefer them, but if you do, I think you're going to like where they are. You do have a heel and toe shifter. I'm not using the heel shifter. You don't have to. It's just not something that I'm used to, so I have no problem. I like my foot being in one position and just moving it, swinging it around up or down to hit the toe shifter. That's just what I'm used to, but a lot of people are used to moving their whole foot to use the heel shifter. So it's there if you want it. But just don't think you have to use them if your bike has them, or if the bike you're looking at buying has it. It's got pretty good roll-on power. Let's go up into top gear here. It takes a second to look at the speedo because the dang needle covers some of the numbers. And that's why I don't like designs like this. I want to be able to glance at a gauge and instantly know what it says. I don't want to have to look at a gauge, because any moment your eyes are off the road, stuff happens. And that is the lean angle limit. Barely touched the feeler there in the bottom of the board. Alright, now one thing that is bugging me a lot on this right side, the airbox sticks way out. It's that big chrome bubble down there. And when my foot is up hitting the rear brake, my whole leg is pushed out. And I'm only snagging the right half of that brake pedal with my foot. So that airbox would have to go. I hate things digging into my legs like that. That just sticks out. Got a lot of chrome on this bike. It's a black and chrome scheme. Chrome bars, turn signals, obviously everything on the dash bezeled. Chrome emblems on the side. Not too much engine braking. Feels very low compression. It's kind of lazy. That's it. Let's go into top gear here. 45 miles an hour, full throttle. Barely wants to go. Makes a lot of noise. Sounds like an angry sewing machine slapping away. but it's not really moving. It's geared down a little bit. Third gear. Better. Makes more noise. Sounds like a more angry sewing machine. Fourth. Shakes, more noise. I don't know. It doesn't have a whole lot of power. Certainly nothing comparable to a Harley 110. Not at all in the same league. This is more like a 1200 Sportster kind of power. Maybe not even that, to be honest with you. Not quite sure what Yamaha's customer base with this is for the price. Oh, come on, turn, you pig. God. They're listing this in black at $13,700 and $14,000 if you want red. Why they charge more money for a different color is beyond me. I think they purposely make some colors, the cheap ones, look uglier, just so you have to spend the money to get something that looks decent. The red would probably look a lot better. This looks pretty plain with this black scheme. Now, whether or not that's worth $300 to you, it probably is to me. If I have to look at something all day and love it or hate it, I'll spend $300. Yeah, really light engine braking. Down into second. I'm not touching the brakes yet. Very controllable. I'd probably want to adjust the shifter up just a touch. It's a little snug getting my boot underneath it, but they are adjustable. So that's not an issue. That's just a setup note. Man, it gets violent here in top gear, even at 45 miles an hour. It does not like it. This engine is just slapping around. I feel the pistons just shaking. I go down into fourth, third. I have no idea what RPM I'm at. It's a lot smoother here in third, but it sounds like it's just revving so high. It's more responsive, but it just doesn't have that V-twin feel. Get it back up into fifth here. It's got the torque, but it's delivering it rough. It's hard to put my finger on what it's doing. It almost feels like the engine's loose. Like if you've ever had an engine where you've got too much piston clearance, that's the feeling I'm getting. Obviously it's not, but that's what it's reminding me of. Neutral's real easy to find. The suspension's really nice. It's comfy, floating down the road, soaking up all the bumps. Not noticing anything unusual. Steering is relatively light. It doesn't want to really tip into the corners. Does want to push a little bit, but this is a heavy front end. You've got the fairing, you've got all the electronics, you got big forks, you got a big front tire. So it's not going to be like a sport bike. It is your typical long distance cruiser. First gear's got real good torque. You don't have to worry about your throttle or where your clutch is or anything like that. Yeah, this is one that you don't really need to short shift it. You actually want to keep the RPMs up a little bit. It's just so much smoother and so much more responsive. So even though it's a mid-size V-twin, don't treat it like one if you want the best experience. I like it much better just holding it here in third. Fourth isn't too bad, but man, fifth gear, highway only. Nice around town, especially the way the engine and transmission and clutch feel. Real smooth. Let's go over these bumps here. Not too bad. No complaints. Alright, so there you go. Overall, decent price for a mid-size, even though they call it deluxe, I'm going to call it entry equipment level cruiser. There's really nothing deluxe about this other than a windscreen and some splashes of chrome. I would have to say, if you're looking for something with all the bells and whistles, look elsewhere. And maybe get the standard version of this and add your own stuff. Save some cash. This has been the 2015 Yamaha V-Star 1300 Deluxe. I'm Brian Glenn with TwoWheelObsession.com. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.